Nope. I saw
Gosh,
that.
how? How?
I s-
Just take the pumpkin.
No! Ahoy, my hatchlings, and welcome to another episode of Timecraft. And today we have some exciting things to do. First thing, we are going to be working on our starter base. We are finally going to have a starter base, and it's going to be amazing, and I'm super excited for it. And then after that, we are going to go ahead and start laying out our this peninsula over here, so we can actually start having the bay for our main build this season. And I'm really quite excited about it. So now the thing about this starter base is it's going to be part of the main base too. Now, this won't eventually be where I'll live full time on the server, since I will be doing that further down this way, but this will be an important part of the main base, which means we are going to establish a lot of the themes and color palettes that we're going to be using in this series. So we have to make sure that we do this right. Also, one of the things that I've been thinking about is this island comes kind of out at a 45-degree angle. And originally I was going to make just this squared thing like this, but I'm wondering now if maybe I shouldn't be doing that, and if I should be building this on a diagonal. Now, unfortunately, that seemed to be so far pretty difficult to find some sort of design that fits nicely on a diagonal for us. So we have quite a bit of stuff left here we have to sort out. What's this? Gravel? And some Easter eggs. Oh, this is Nuke's new Easter egg hunt because it is the day after Easter. And to all those who celebrate Easter, Happy Easter. But over in the shopping district, there should be a place that we can deposit these Easter eggs, and there are barrels supposedly hidden all around. So it's very cool that we have one here. But we're going to need to gather up a lot of resources in order to really build this thing. Most of the resources we should already have, like our diorite and the stone and andesite and stuff, but we're going to need to get a lot of glass, and we're going to need to get a fair bit of quartz. But we can steal some of that from Rustic's villagers. I'm sure he won't mind. But with that, let's first jump in to a creative test world so I can sort of show you what we're looking at doing here for the actual build. So here we are in our creative world, and it's a lot smaller than my redstone world. I really don't spend very much time in here. But this is sort of what we were looking at. This was sort of my original plan. I was going to have a 5x5 build, though in hindsight, this one's actually slightly smaller than the build would have been, so it would have just extended out a little bit, which it probably would have looked even nicer because we would have gotten to have these double windows than it looks right now. But the main idea here was to sort of decide on what I wanted to do about the color palette. Because I love quartz on the outside, but I don't like diorite. I really don't like diorite. And so I had to try and decide is, do I actually want to use diorite here, or do I want to invert this color palette so we have quartz on the inside and cobblestone on the outside? And I still like this on the outside better. I still think this is a lot prettier. I'm not huge on the quartz. Sorry, I'm not huge on the diorite, but it'll do. Now, unfortunately, with this pattern, it was not possible to turn it at a 45-degree angle. So we've gone ahead and done some stuff to try and make it into a circle. This one here, I think the pillars are just a little bit too sparse, but this is a good starting point. And then from there, we modified it some more, added in some more pillars, and rearranged things a little bit, and we eventually wound up with this thing here. And this is sort of what we're going to be using as our main idea here. And there's a lot of texturing we can do with some of the different blocks in here, and I think this should look really cool. In the desert and the sand mining area. And look, someone's already built a portal over here, so at least I'm in the right spot and know that I won't get in trouble for stripping this area bare. I've also gone ahead and made myself an ender chest, so I think we can gather up about 2 shulkers worth of sand. Of course, we do not have shulker boxes yet, but this should at least let us get quite a lot of sand so we can start making our fire, which should be awesome. But with that, let's jump into a quick hyperspeed dig mode. So we went ahead and gathered ourselves up a whole bunch of wood after we gathered some sand, and we are bouncing on over to Chloe's house because she has some dark oak saplings. Hello, Chloe. How are you?
Hi, Splashes. You wanted some dark oak?
Yes, ma'am. We need some dark oak, and I heard you're not opening the tree shop this season.
No. There, that should be 6, so if you lose some, you'll have some left.
We are in
Thank
the
you.
shopping district now because I need to get some bone meal as well as some other goodies. So Jesse has agreed to trade me 2 stacks of bone meal for a diamond. Oh, 3 stacks of bone meal. So we now have some bone meal, which is great, so we can actually grow our trees. But we need to go ahead and... Let's go ahead and pick up our diamonds from this shop here. We will refill it, and Death has gone ahead and dug out a bunch of diamonds too. So we can go ahead and... Ooh, that's very nice. So that is about a stack and a half of goodies there, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and get some purple wool from Beard, which should be in here. Purple. What is the price? 1 stack for 2 diamonds. It's a little expensive, but it'll do. We're probably going to need to get a lot of purple wool from him, so we'll have to see if we can't negotiate some sort of bulk transaction. But with that, we can now go ahead and bounce. So one thing I want to do quickly before we head back down, I think this is it. We want to go ahead and pop in all these Easter eggs. So happy Easter. So I think we just toss the eggs in one at a time. Okay, that means we lost. And again. Yay! We win a diamond. Okay, let's toss this in again. We lose again. And we win! Yay! Okay, so let's just do this 6 more times. Nope. Man, this doesn't like me. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on. Really? I saw Vought do this, and he won like 80% of the time, and I've won less than 20% of the time. Goodness gracious. Okay, but with that, we finally have all the bits that we need to start building this. But before we do, we want to make ourselves a little smelter so we can start auto-smelting the glass, or the sand into glass, because we are going to need ourselves a lot of glass. So with that, let's jump back to the base. What we need to do is we need to go ahead and make ourselves a little automatic smelter. It's not going to be a super smelter, but something a little bit better than this, that we can just pile everything into it and make lots and lots of glass. So let's toss this stuff in here, place this in here, so this is our fuel chest, and then we will place our stuff in here, so this will be our chest for our sand. And that's really all there is to it, and I did not place this in the right spot. Just like that. Okay. So let me just go ahead and toss this stuff back in here. I want that. And I'm gonna move these tools into my ender chest here. So hopefully I don't misplace them again. And let's go ahead and, whoopsie, that's not the, where did I put my sand? Okay, my sand's over here. Let's go ahead and just start filling up this chest up here, and we will just let this thing run and turn all this sand into concrete. Hey, no, you're not supposed to do that. Go in there. Okay. And let me just grab some coal, and then everything should be good. And then we can finally jump into hyperspeed build mode and get building our starter base. Yay! And end of hyperspeed build mode, and we now have ourselves the outside of a lovely lovely lighthouse. Or maybe it's a beacon. I'm told that things like this should actually be called beacons, but calling something beacons in Minecraft gets a little bit confusing. So we did only decide to do 3 layers tall instead of 4 layers. I think much taller, and it started to look a little bit ungainly, but I think that looks really amazing actually. And we realized we could substitute in these barrels to, it's not exact, but it helps. And maybe I should put the barrels in the corner and then put those things so it's not such a hard turn. I'm not certain, but I'm really happy with it. We still have quite a bit left to do on this build, though. We want to sort of texturize it. I mean, obviously, we can't texturize this diorite here, but we can texturize this quartz using some mushroom stems, and we can texturize the andesite with some normal andesite, and the stone with some cracked stone brick and mossy stone brick, and I think overall, this whole thing should look really nice. Now, I want to go ahead and actually place an entrance into here, because we have gone ahead and raised this whole thing up. And one of the things I don't want is, I don't want the stairs here. Actually, let me also go ahead and take out this stuff right here, and then we will go ahead and put quartz slabs along the bottom. There we go. That looks a little bit more continuous, and now it'll come up into here, and I actually want to replace these blocks here with quartz as well, just like that. And there we do need to go ahead and actually put some floors in here, so you can see that we have 3 levels in here. We have one down here, one up there, and one further up here. I also want to take this ladder and shift it over, so we have quite a bit of other stuff that we can do in here yet. And of course, the last thing that we're going to need to do with this lighthouse, we're going to have to light it up. So we've been working on slowly making ourselves a whole bunch of glass over here. So if we come down right over here, we've slowly been cooking up a lot of glass, but we have a lot more glass left to cook, so we might just AFK here so we can finish cooking up all this glass. We're not going to use all of it right now, but we're going to need a lot of glass here, and I think it's going to look really amazing when it's all said and done, seeing the beacon fully properly lit. Though we might want to wait on properly lighting the beacon until we can get some end rods, and we will be going to the end this weekend, so I will finally be able to get some end rods and properly light up the fire, and I think it'll look amazing. But with that, let's jump ahead into the future. One of the wonderful things about jumping to the future is that everything is immediately done. So we now have an interior for this build, and I don't think I've ever actually built an interior before. Or at least I've never built a proper interior. Also, we've gone ahead and textured the outside a little bit, so we've added some mushroom stems here, which is a nice complement to the quartz, as well as some cracked stone brick and some mossy stone brick and some andesite blocks. So let's go inside and see what we have in here. So on our first floor, we have a portal room with just some leaves hanging around. This is a really common thing that we're going to be using, is a lot of leaves in all of our builds. We have this nice big storeroom down here, and I don't think I've ever had a proper storeroom or a proper storage system. And if we're honest, I will probably not keep this organized and probably not actually use it. Now up here, this is one of my favorite rooms. I actually made a bedroom, like a little loft area for me to sleep. This arrangement of beds might be a little bit large, but I kind of like it. Now we also have some plants around here, some bookshelves, a little smoker because that looks like a heater for me because I'm a lizard. Then we have a little wash basin, some cups, and a bunch of plants and greenery all over the place. I think it's really pretty. And then all the way up here, we have ourselves a little enchanting setup. And here we have some lapis and some books and an anvil. So I'm really happy with how this all turned out. I think it's really, really pretty in here. And this was quite a lot of fun. And we're going to be doing a lot more interiors this season. Oh, I should probably sleep. But what we're going to do next is I have a little prank I want to play on somebody. So, Tootee has named all of his animals in German. And I want to just switch around some of the names a little bit because I think it'll be funny. Okay, so here we are over at Tootee's little house. And it's a really cute little house, but he has quite a few animals here. So this is Hund, and I think Katza is over here. No, you're not Katza. Where's Katza? Katza. There's Katza. So we're gonna switch the names over here, and I think one of his cows is called Ku. Where's Ku? Come on, Ku. There's Ku. And I think Fad is over here. Where's Fad? There we go, Fad. So we're gonna switch all the names, have a little bit of fun. So he has a lot more cats than dogs, but let's have a little fun. Fun. Fad. So Zwei. And with that, now we've named all of Tootee's animals. So all of his dogs are labeled Katza, all of his kitties are labeled Hund, all of his cows are labeled Pferd, and his horses are Kuh. Also, he had some chickens, so I labeled them Adeksha. So I hope he enjoys that. So we didn't quite get a chance to go ahead and put the outline of what we're planning to do, but we'll go ahead and do that in between episodes. But with that, I've been Splashes. Thank you for watching. Most of this episode was recorded live on Twitch, so that'll be in the description if you want to come watch that. As well as if you have any questions or comments or want to reach out to me, just leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. So with that, I've been Splashes. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Goodbye!